We're in the most dangerous challenge to the international community since Saddam Hussein seized Kuwait, and in the coming days, the Obama administration will only make things more dangerous. Listen as President Obama sits helplessly in the Oval Office trying to shame the Russian leader into behaving better.
The steps Russia has taken are a violation of Ukraine's sovereignty, Ukraine's territorial integrity, that they're a violation of international law.
Nice talk from a former professor of law, but Vladimir Putin has indicated he doesn't care what the Americans or Europeans think. Putin has complete dominance in the immediate region and intends to use it. This is a real crisis. The dangers are going to rebound around the world. Decisions being made right now will change history.
I agree. It's just interesting that Republicans wouldn't make any of those decisions differently. They just complain about them. In the crossfire tonight, Obama supporter Lawrence Korb, a former Assistant Secretary of Defense, and Obama critic Danielle Pletka, who worked for the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Danielle, as we sit here right now, CNN is reporting that Obama's Treasury Department is putting together a crippling package of sanctions against Russia. Isn't this exactly what Republicans have been demanding? And aren't you going to criticize Obama anyway?
Well, first of all, I don't think we should caricature any of this. I'm delighted to be labeled Obama's harshest critic, but in fact, these are serious matters, and I think the people of Ukraine have more profound things on their mind than American petty politics. I'd love to see sanctions put in place by the Treasury Department, but at the end of the day, what we're going to really need is credible American leadership. And unfortunately for the president, it's that word, credible, where he has a real deficit. First of all, he let Putin bring him down the garden path on Syria, a country that was supposed to have given up all its chemical weapons by February, but has only given up 11% of them. What accountability have we heard demanded by the president? That's the problem that he has from situation to situation, whether it's in Russia, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's China, whether it's Syria. Wherever we see him, he just doesn't have what it takes to be taken seriously by foreign leaders.
Is he credible? What do you think?
Oh, I think he's more than credible. For example, if you go back and look at 2008, when Russia went into Georgia, we did nothing. And that was at the height of our involvement in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's gotten the international community to begin putting sanctions. Not going to be the Treasury. These have to be international sanctions. And nobody, even the harshest critic, wants to put boots on the ground. So if you're not going to put boots...
Let me give you an example of why I think the credibility thing is a little bit tricky. Look at what the president said at one point today. It's remarkable.
One thing they can do right away is to work with the administration to help provide a package of assistance to the Ukrainians, to the people and that government. When they get back in, assuming the weather clears, I would hope that would be the first order of business.
Let me just make 2 points real quick and then give you a chance to respond. The first is, you're a Russian. Moscow's had 85 inches of snow this year. The president says when the Congress gets back in, assuming the weather cooperates, you think to yourself, is this guy like nuts? Okay, second, I mean, this is a sign of American toughness. 5 inches of snow, Congress collapses, but give us time, in the spring we'll be back. Second, what's his first act? Now, again, Obama's first act is always to spend money, but the truth is, the #1 supplier of energy to Ukraine is Russia. The #1 debt is to Russia. The president's proposing the American taxpayers send foreign aid to Ukraine, which will immediately go to Russia, which strikes me, if I was Putin, as fine. I mean, he'll be glad to take the taxpayers' money via Kiev.
That's nonsense. Okay, first of all, you know, Congress, by the way, is compared to when you're there, they're never there. They're out all the time. They don't get anything done. He can't authorize any money through the IMF unless the Congress does it, and that's what he's trying to say. And by the way, I mean, if you're talking about, you know, Putin was going to lend money to Ukraine. He lent them $3 billion, which he's not going to get back. And you know, if you want to take over Ukraine, you're taking over a bankrupt country. So the idea that somehow or another, by saying we want to give the money, yeah, I think we ought to help them get out of bankruptcy, just like General Motors or something.
But won't that money go? Won't a large part of the money go directly to Russia?
No, it won't go to the Russians. I mean, you know, Yanukovych, who was their guy, he got elected because of the Russian vote in Crimea. You haven't seen Putin with him. When he was in Russia, he was standing behind a Ukrainian flag. Putin hadn't even talked to him when he's there. So the idea that somehow this money is not going to get, now I'll agree with you, both Russia and Ukraine are corrupt. That's what I worry about. Getting it there will go to the corrupt Ukrainians.